want? They want us to bail them out. They want Janet Yellen to make phone calls for them. Yeah. They want to shut down trading. Are you kidding me? Absolutely. Are you kidding me? If you did anything like that in your day job, you'd be fired and on the street. But these schmucks in Wall Street and Greenwich or wherever they are, they could do whatever the hell they want to do with no repercussions.
Hell
no repercussions. Where's our $2,000 check? Where's our money? They give us $600. These guys, they take billions from us. Billions. We bailed them out in 2010. They're screwing us again today.
You may recognize that person. He's been on the program several times. That is Gavin Wax, president of the New York Young Republicans Club. And we just happen to have him here with us. Gavin, is this Occupy Wall Street #2?
Something like that. We coined it Reoccupy Wall Street, obviously playing off of the movement from about a decade ago, but certainly a little different in terms of our beliefs and what we're looking for. But there are some common grounds. I'm not gonna deny that. But what we saw this past week with the hedge funds colluding to shut down trading and to bail out their buddies on Wall Street and basically screwing over the little guy is absolutely unacceptable. It's un-American and it's completely contrary to the free markets.
Well, what about the fact that the Democrats come out every time there's an election year? Oh, we're against the big money. We don't want it. But yet the Democrats get more money from Wall Street and hedge funds. Janet Yellen got $800,000 in speaking fees from one of these hedge funds that was in deep trouble because the little trolls at Reddit were about to sink their ship. I mean, there's too many players at the elite level that are too deeply entwined in Wall Street, aren't there?
Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of people have this notion that the Republican Party, that's really the party of old money, when really we are the working class party now. There has been a realignment. It's been happening over the last few decades, and the Democratic establishment is largely a corporatist neoliberal party. And these Reddit guys, I mean, they basically brought down multiple hedge funds through their short squeeze. And I would argue the short squeeze was a legitimate response to them over-shorting stocks. Many stocks like AMC are only down because of the coronavirus lockdown, and then they're trying to basically finish them off. You can't go to the movies. That's why the stock price is down. So some of these short squeezers, they need to be pushed back on, or the short squeezers are pushing back on the short sellers, rather.
It seems like the White House has come out, though, and made a statement that they will look into this on the side of looking out for the hedge fund. Is that how you take that?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw Elizabeth Warren's latest statement basically vilifying the little guy. I mean, this is really a David versus Goliath story. And all this like controlled opposition, these fake leftists are coming out trying to protect the people that have multiple homes in the Hamptons or are in the south of France or wherever. And meanwhile, you know, the young kids who are on Reddit, who are earning an honest buck, who learned how to work the markets, who made a good investment, are getting vilified. And it's disgusting. I mean, they did what everyone's supposed to do. They traded fairly and freely. They won. The hedge funds lost. That's the free market. That's how the system works. And if they don't like it, well, it's too bad.
If you don't like the game, play a different game. But the fact of the matter is, you're right, Gavin. And GameStop, AMC, Bed Bath & Beyond. Now, silver is on its way up. Different controls over commodities like silver, however. But as you look at this, I don't believe it's possible that the hedge funds can control all of the company. So if these groups of investors at $20, $50, $100 a piece move in mass from place to place, they can't stop them all, can they?
Well, listen, I mean, these hedge funds, if you have $3 billion under management, you have dozens of junior analysts and analysts working for you. Are they trying to say that they couldn't assign one guy to go look at what's happening on Reddit to monitor the retail investing side? I mean, there's a ton of capital on the retail investing side. I mean, if you're managing big money, you need to be making decisions like this. You need to be going the extra mile to protect your investments. I mean, this is their own incompetence. I mean, they should never have been in this position. And when the price hit 30, when the price hit 40, 50, why didn't they jump out? It was arrogance. They waited till $400, and then they were making phone calls to try to get bailed out and have trading shut down. I mean, this needs to be investigated. This was collusive behavior. There was some shenanigans going on, and people have gone to jail for far less. So what's happening is completely antithetical to the free market. And these hedge funds, they've been doing similar things for years. There's nothing manipulative about it. Prices fluctuate. The market is volatile. That's just how it works. And they're only crying foul now because they're on the losing end of the stick.
Yeah.
Let me switch gears here for a second with you, because we are at over 40 executive orders. This week, we're going to push over 40 executive orders. These are going to be on immigration reform. So we're talking about bringing people from other countries into our country in the middle of the pandemic. We've already killed women's sports for good in the first week. You look at what this president is coming in and doing after saying he can work with Republicans, he will bring unity back, and he understands how to make Congress work together. Obviously, he's not even attempting to do that. So what does that mean to the New York Young Republicans Club? Where do you go from here?
Well, so much for moderate Scranton Joe. I mean, he's basically governing like Obama 2.0, essentially. I mean, I don't see any difference between him and the left of his party, and it's certainly undemocratic despite his party's name. I mean, they've issued more executive orders than anyone in the first few days. So we've already seen what this administration is going to look like. It's going to look far left. It's going to be ruled by diktat, not ruled by law. And it's completely a shame what's going on. And I think a lot of his voters and a lot of honest, good people got duped thinking that this was Joe Biden from 30 years ago, which it certainly wasn't. But as far as my organization is concerned, we're going to continue to be on the front lines here in New York, letting our voices be heard. We're going to take advantage of the fact that we are still the media and financial capital, and we're going to use that as a platform to expose this sort of corruption, to expose this hypocrisy, and to expose the double standards coming from the establishment.
In New York, you might have some other advantages, too, coming up in 2022. You'll now have a very unpopular governor, the Emmy Award-winning Andrew Cuomo, trying to defend against allegations of a cover-up when it comes to COVID. You've got Job Loss Joe, as he's been nicknamed by several for his moves against union workers and so forth. It could be a very productive midterm election cycle in 2022, provided we can get there in one piece. What do you think?
I think Cuomo has had a pretty rough week. It was interesting to see that the second highest Democrat elected official in the state, Attorney General James, was the one that put the knife in his back by exposing what he did at the nursing homes. 50% more deaths than reported. About 12,000 elderly were killed by his incompetence and his corruption. But I think people are slowly starting to wake up. I would hope they could see that he is the narcissistic sociopath that we all know he is. And people in his party, I know through the political grapevine, are certainly not happy with him and his decisions. The Biden administration wants nothing to do with him, and there's growing anger and pushback towards him. So I think next year the gubernatorial race in New York could actually be competitive. There are no term limits, so he'll probably run again because his ego won't allow him to do otherwise. But I would hope that this would be the end of King Cuomo's political aspirations.
Ah, the Cuomo dynasty. Gavin Wax, thank you so much. He is the president of the New York Young Republicans Club.